All right, everybody, welcome back to another market update. Obviously, I'm in a bit more casual clothing today, and that's because I'm in Liverpool, Nova Scotia at the Best Western, and we're going to a wedding at White Point. But it's the 5th today. Wanted to get this out there because I know you folks are all probably wondering what the heck is going on in the market. And I always do these on the 5th, so I want to keep that continuity up. So without further ado, let me skip to the last slide. We will get in here and figure out how to do a slideshow. Play from start. Okay, cool. So for those tuning in for the first time, basically how this works is I will go neighborhood by neighborhood. When I put this out, I'm not going to do what I usually do, which is cut it up by neighborhood. I'll have to do that tomorrow. I'm just a little pressed for time right now. So for those of you watching on whatever it is, Friday today, then it's not going to have the usual bookmarks, but I'll put those in. So basically you can search based off the neighborhood and whatever neighborhood you're interested in. Overall trend, we're definitely seeing a leveling out here. In a lot of neighborhoods, particularly ones that were at the higher end or kind of went very parabolic during the earlier part of the year. So we'll go through kind of this Bedford slow as we always do, and then we'll speed it up. So Bedford, Nova Scotia, obviously this little drawn out area. And these are kind of the stats. So total sales and days on market, total sales being how many sales happened throughout the month of July, and days on market, meaning how long did it take for that house to sell once it came on the market and then sold. So historically, over the last couple of months, we've seen that 11 really be right around a 5 or a 6. And this just shows us that as that number gets bigger, it means that the house is sitting for a little bit longer. So you're not running into these crazy over asking offer situations. It's starting to sit, which means people have more time to make a decision on the buy side. And that is why we're seeing a list price to sale price to list price percentage 99.3, right? So people are now, for the first time in a long time, in a few of these neighborhoods, starting to be able to bid under whatever that price is listed at, right? Which is signs of a more normal market. Showings per listing and new listing 5.7 and 53. So still pretty well, that's actually a pretty small number right there, right? But it's moving quick. It means that really there's 6 families coming in there and somebody's making an offer, right? So it's not like we had, sometimes it was like 20, 30 showings per listing. Now it's much more manageable. Single family monthly comparison, 725,000 versus 642,750. So 724 was the month of June, 642 month of July. And if somebody comes in this room, it's just people who I'm sharing the hotel room with. So condo monthly comparison, 401,250 in the month of June and 441,151 in the month of July. My buddies are in the hotel next to me, so they're probably laughing at this. All right, Clayton Park and Rockingham. So for those unfamiliar, Clayton Park's kind of the south part, or the part below, and then Rockingham is kind of where that Hemlock Ravine Park symbol is right there. Total sales days on market, 27 and 10 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, 7.6 and 33. So again, those are pretty healthy numbers in terms of a normalization of a market, right? Complemented by this 101.3 list price, right? So that's 101.3% of list price. So that's much different than the 120%, all that craziness that was going on a few months ago. Single family monthly comparison, 678.50 and 615. Condo monthly comparison, 406,200 and 322. So again, these numbers can be a little bit skewed. Just because sometimes you're in these neighborhoods, there's nicer houses that sell, there's not so nice houses that sell. But the goal is here is to find a bit of a trend that can tell us a bit more information about what's going on in that neighborhood. Coal Harbour. Total sales and days on market, 34 and 12, right? We're still seeing that 12, 11, 10. That's signs of a healthier buying cycle. Shows per listing and new listing, 7.4 and 26. Sale price to list price percentage, 103.2%. And you'll notice there's no condo here, and that's just because Cole Harbour doesn't have hardly any movement. Single family monthly comparison, 465 versus 355. So that's a pretty decent drop. Cole Harbour tends to have a lot of similar style of build. So it's tough to say if that is a sign of things occurring in Cole Harbour. For a bit there, it was like 500, 525, but we're definitely seeing a decrease in sale price in Cole Harbour. You know, you're only probably 25-minute drive to directly downtown Halifax. Okay, Dartmouth. So this is obviously quite a large area. Burnside being the industrial park. So there's no housing over in Burnside and Dartmouth Crossing, but I like to include all that stuff anyways. Total sales and days on market, 59 and 5. Showings per listing and new listings, 7.4 and 77. Sale price to list price percentage, 101.4. Single family monthly comparison, 500,000 versus 458. 250. Condo monthly comparison, 402 500 and 309 500. There's a decent drop there. Again, the space is very large, but definitely seeing a bit of a decrease across the board in a lot of these neighborhoods, right? As things start to cool down due to the inflation, due to the interest rates as well as inflation. But you know, when people are more strapped for cash or are really watching their spending, coupled with the rise in rates, you know, a $500,000 house is now the same monthly payment as, you know, what a 525 or 530. Don't quote me on those exact numbers, would have been back when the rates were lower, right? So that can have an effect on where the houses are being priced, as well as kind of what they're going for. Total sales and days on market, 1 and 0. So there's only one sale, and it went the day it came on. Showings per listing and new listings, 2.9 and 6. Sale price to list price percentage, 112.9%. It's a little overbidding, right? There's not a ton of stuff for sale downtown, so when it goes, it goes. Condo monthly comparison, 514 940 versus 700. Cow Bay, Eastern Passage. Cow Bay, beautiful little area. Eastern Passage is definitely changing. But yeah, I think Cow Bay in the next 20 years is going to become quite popular. I've got some friends out here right now. They were out there yesterday and they were talking about how beautiful that area is. Total sales and days on market, 19 and 19. Showings per listing and new listing, 5.8 and 23. Sale price to list price percentage, 100%. Single family monthly comparison, 434 versus 385. So no condos out there. Enfield. So this is kind of an area that's really been changing over the last little while. New exit out there, airport's right there. Some nice little lakes and stuff right around. And about a 40-minute drive to downtown. Total sales and days on market, 21 and 7. Showings per listing and new listing, 5.5 and 27. Yep. Okay. That's pretty good. You know, I mean, obviously it's coming down again. Sale price to list price percentage, 100%. And then single family monthly comparison, 422 500 versus 420,000. A little dip there as well. Fairmount, there was nothing that moved. Fairview, total sales and days on market, 6 and 6. Showings per listing and new listing, 8 and 6 respectively. Sale price to list price percentage, 101.3. Single family monthly comparison, 477 250 versus 510. Fairview, geez, Fairview has changed a lot since the winter. Definitely much more manageable in terms of if you're a buyer looking to enter that market space. You know, definitely a pretty healthy market, still moving pretty quick at 6 days on market, but you're not seeing these way over asking numbers. Okay, Fall River, kind of a luxury, well, there's a mix, but there's a lot of very nice homes because there's a lot of lake frontage there, and those homes obviously are going to be priced very well when you're 25-minute or 30-minute drive to downtown Halifax. Total sales and days on market, 12 and 11. Showings per listing and new listing, 7.8 and 24. Sale price to list price percentage, 99.8%. Single family monthly comparison, 750,000 versus 562 500. So in a lot of these Fall River neighborhoods, there's houses that are on the lake frontage, which are going to be very nice. There's new build, there's kind of older build, probably 20, maybe 30 years old. They're all nice houses. It's just you're going to get a pretty significant difference in price based on how new the house is, as well as if it's on the lake or on the other side of the road. Hammonds Plains of Lucasville, similar here. In certain areas, certain parts of this area are quite old, and then certain parts are very new, right? You've got Glen Arbor Golf Course within those parameters, or within that map. Total sales and days on market 16 and 11. Showings per listing and new listing 6.2 and 30. Sale price to list price percentage 100%. Single family monthly comparison 807.5 and 705.5. So that's actually a pretty high price for all that. It's definitely coming down, as you can see, but they've got some huge lots out there, beautiful homes. You got the golf course out there, and you've got kind of two ways to access the city in a lot of cases. You can cut across Lucasville through Sackville, or go through Bedford. North End Halifax. Not a ton of movement here this past month. Total sales and days on market 14 and 6. Showings per listing and new listing 6.5 and 15. Sale price to list price percentage 102.7%. Single family monthly comparison 548 and 521 250. Condo monthly comparison 339 500 and 402 500. Not a ton of, I'm thinking of the condos in the north end. They have the new pre-construction on Gottingen. Oh, and then Novalee would have quite a few there that go for right around that price. Yeah. Sackville and Beaverbank. So again, diverse area. Certain parts of Sackville can have some lower priced areas, and there's certain parts of Sackville that can have some very high priced areas, whether you're in Upper Sackville there, Indigo Shores, which I guess is more middle Sackville, or Beaverbank and parts of Windsor Junction. Lakes, right? Whenever you get the lakes, you're gonna get these high price homes. Total sales and days on market 53 and 8. Showings per listing and new listing 8.6 and 71. Sell price to list price percentage 101%. Single family monthly comparison 500,500. 443 is the last month's comparison. So a bit of a dip there too. And just to quickly check. Yeah, so there's still a ton of listings coming on. Days on market, decently healthy. List price to sale price percentage. So if you're taking a look at this whole presentation from kind of a bird's eye view, you're starting to really see almost a more even keel, right? I'm going to start doing on TikTok and hopefully on Instagram and maybe even in YouTube Shorts, snapshots of some of these graphs that I look at, because it's one thing for me to read data. It's another thing for you guys to kind of see. Anyways, I'm going to try to do that this month, hopefully on Monday if I got time, just to give folks another perspective of what's going on in the market. South End Halifax, luxury living. Total sales and days on market 14 and 13. Showings per listing and new listing 5.7 and 20. Sale price to list price percentage 97%, right? So again, and actually one of my clients who's coming out here this week pointed out to me there was a house that was listed in the South End and it sat for quite a bit. And yet an agent, for some reason, advised their client to go way over asking. So you got to really watch that. If the house has been sitting for a while and you're a buyer, you have the power. Generally, the general thinking is the first offer that a house gets is probably going to be the best offer, right? Because the longer it sits, the more time the buyers had to think about things, the kind of, time is on the buyer's side in that case. So if you use me or you don't use me, if you ever buy in Halifax, if the house has been sitting for a while, you should be coming under ask, right? You've got the power position at that point. You should kind of exercise it as such. Single family monthly comparison, 1.386 versus 950,000. Now that's two completely different kind of ballparks to pull from. Those would be two different sample sizes, right? It's not like they're getting 400 grand off. Condo monthly comparison, 372 versus 450. And again, those condos, there's some nicer newer condos on Goresbrook Park. And then there's some older ones kind of scattered throughout the south end. It really depends on what you're looking for. All right, Spryfield and Armdale. Total sales and days on market, 25 and 7. Showings per listing and new listing 6 and 31. Sale price to list price percentage, 105%. Single family monthly comparison, 480,000 versus 527,500. Condo monthly comparison is 390,000 versus 375. So the condos you're seeing are taking a little bit of a slide. Spryfield and Armdale's, a lot of it's similar era. Single family monthly comparison, you've got quite a bit of a difference between Armdale and Spryfield, but important to know at least where things are kind of generally tracking in that area. Tantallon and Hubley. Again, a beautiful beach community in Nova Scotia in certain parts. Total sales and days on market, 12 and 9. Showings per listing and new listing, 6.4 and 24. Sale price to list price percentage, 100.2%. Single family monthly comparison is 620,786 versus 619,500. Timberlea and Beechville. So this is kind of, it's a nice area. I mean, there's golf course area. You're close to the shopping at Bears Lake. You can see right just outside. That's a big shopping district. And again, you're probably, 15 minutes to downtown, maybe 20 minutes to downtown Halifax. Lots of hiking trails and everything through there. Nice community. Total sales and days on market, 16 and 6 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, 7 and 19. Which is still pretty, this is, I think, was one of the hotter areas for the month of July. Sale price to list price percentage, 105.8%. Single family monthly comparison, 451,100 and 454,500. Also, just to touch on what's going on in this neighborhood, I can't remember if I mentioned it last month, but Brunello Golf Course is one of the only courses, if not the only course in Nova Scotia that's actually building houses on the golf course. And they're coming along with the next round of kind of these golf course homes. So something to kind of keep in mind if that is something that attracts you and you're moving here from out of the province. We are beginning to have that option for sure. So that's great. West End Halifax. Okay, another beautiful little neighborhood near Halifax. Total sales and days on market, 12 and 8. Showings per listing and new listing, 6.3 and 24. Sale price to list price percentage is 102%, which is pretty healthy. And single family monthly comparison, 605 and 620. I like that number. West End, I like the West End, and that's a pretty fair number. It's not crazy. For a while there, the West End was getting very, very expensive, but nice. There's some old parts of the West End. There's some, I wouldn't consider them new build, but smaller houses, and got a little bit of everything you need. Okay, finally, Windsor. I always throw in at the end. Total sales and days on market, 21 and 6. Showings per listing and new listing, 6.7 and 31. Sale price to list price percentage, 108.7%, which is pretty darn high. Apparently people have been hearing what I've been saying and moving out there. Single family monthly comparison, 312,500 and 310,000. Okay, folks. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little episode of not neighborhood spotlights, market updates for the month of July 2022. And hopefully I'll be starting. I know I mentioned it a little earlier, starting to do some kind of snapshots of some graphs and whatnot. So look for those in the YouTube shorts. I just started messing around with that this month. And if you follow me on TikTok or on Instagram, I'll try to put that same stuff up there. I don't know how to take the TikTok symbol off of the shorts when I make them, so YouTube might suppress it. Anyways, hit the bell or the subscribe button too, and you'll get alerted when I do post those. I'm going to try to do those again early this week, make a habit of that going forward, because I think that's good info you guys will like. Other than that, everybody have a great month. We got a listing coming this week in Lucasville, and then there's a Dartmouth neighborhood spotlight that should be good to go here in another week. And that one's going to be pretty fun. And I put a little bit more energy into it because I know the North End one, I was talking like I was a robot. So anyways, for those of you who have listened to me up until this point, have a great week.